Jesus taught first when people were ready to listen, but he served first when people needed a reason to listen. That's good, isn't it? And I mention all this is because, again, I want to learn from my mistakes primarily. When I talk about not sharing the gospel like that guy, I'm not pointing at anybody else but myself. Because I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt, right? If you think you've been exposed to bad evangelism, I'm the poster child for it, okay? But Jesus, he served first before he spoke. And listen, serving temporal needs is not beneath evangelism, like inferior to it. And if we followed the pattern of the master and we served before we spoke, I think we'd see a lot more fruit in our evangelism. In fact, that's not just like weak point yell here. This has been proven. Like, this is where I really geek out on stuff. There was a missiologist named Mark Russell. He did a study back in 2008, a missionary study. He studied all the mission teams in Thailand. The first category of missionaries were called blessers. They just go in, and sharing the gospel is not the primary MO. The first thing is to bless everybody here. How can we be an agent for good in this city? They would bless people by doing things like giving small business loans, like my friends in Adagea. They were called blessers. That's the first category. The second category the missiologist studied was called the converters, right? They go right into, they track metrics by how many conversations today did you get through the entire gospel. And so their approach was, we're going to evangelize first, ask questions later, right? Like at the race today, there's a big race today later. There's a lot of Christians going to be out there. I seen it on Facebook. There's going to be two types of groups of Christians out there evangelizing. There's going to be Christians out there handing out waters, which we need again because it got boiling hot again, right? There's going to be people handing out waters, and then there's going to be other Christians evangelizing with huge signs. There's going to be blessers and converters, right? Here's what's interesting. They studied missionaries in Thailand for 2 years. What they found was astounding. First of all, the blessers, after 2 years, had greatly improved the living conditions in Thailand. They actually blessed the cities. They made them better places. And people viewed the blessers with a lot of trust, and they saw them as valuable.